Okay guys, today I'm going to be talking about the Kreg Rip-Cut. I'll give you the good, the bad, the great, the not so great. I'll tell you everything that I think about this. Show you how to set it up. It's really simple, and I'll tell you whether or not it's a good alternative to just a good old-fashioned 2x4. Okay, this thing is really simple to set up. All you have to do is grab your skill saw or a circular saw. I happen to have a skill saw. It's very cheap. I've had it for a long time. Works great. The only thing that you need to know before you do this is whether or not this will fit into this groove. This will, so I have no problems. If it does not, it can bind, leaving it open, and cause a serious safety concern that you guys don't want to deal with. So, the next thing to look at is this little sleeve here. This will go either direction. This is for whether or not the shoe is tapered or if it's flat. Mine is very, very lightly tapered, so I'll leave it as the tapered side. Put this in here. Now what you want to do is get this put in. This will pop over the edges here. Grab your screwdriver, tighten these up. Now you don't want to tighten these up too far because this is plastic. It's a fairly decent plastic, but it's still plastic. I wouldn't want to put too much pressure on it. Get your Allen wrench, make sure everything is nice and flush. Now this is a stop here that you can actually adjust in and out, but where mine came from the factory, I have plenty of room here. So I'm going to tighten these up. Nice and secure. All right, now let's look at this. You want this little gauge to be in line with your blade. Whether it's a right saw or a left saw, this will easily slide back and forth. Now this is the way you want to set this up. You want this to be your blade closest to here. It will go either way, but obviously that's going to be very bad wrong. So let's turn this back around, where we want it. Drop this in here. It comes with these two screws. Put this up. The easiest way to do this is what locks onto your track. Flip this back, slide this in. Sometimes it's easier than others. And what I like to do is open this up, push this all the way up to where it's just touching your blade. There we go. You don't want to put much pressure on the blade. Put it here, tighten this up, set this to 0. Now, loosen this back up. We're going to slide this out to 1.5 inches. The reason being, this will give us a little bit of adjustment. There's no measurements between 0 and 1. It says it's not recommended. The manual says that it's dangerous, you don't want to do it, blah, blah, blah. Your hand gets too close. Just an awful lot of problems you don't want to deal with. So you go out to 1.5 inches, and I'm going to make a cut. And then I'll measure it, and we'll go from there. Okay, this is one of the definite drawbacks of this jig. It does not work well with small pieces. Hopefully, you have a table saw that would work better for a smaller piece. But I just didn't want to cut up a brand new piece of plywood for this demonstration. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this, it shows to hold here. I don't like to do that. It seems to me as I'm using it, I get more control and a smoother cut with my hand up here. I'm actually further away from the blade, seems to be even safer. So let's see what we do. Okay. Let's measure. Have it set in 1.5 inches, and I have, well, exactly 1.5 inches. So, what you would do if you were off is you could push this down and adjust this, but apparently it's right. At the end, it's a Kreg jig. Kreg has always done well with everything that I've ever had. The same with this as with every other Kreg jig I've ever bought. I've always initially thought that I wished that the plastic was a little thicker, but that I've never had a problem with a Kreg jig, never actually broken one. Lost several, but I've never actually broken one. So overall it's great. I think it's a great alternative for a plunge saw. The smaller limitation with the 1 inch, I know some people will still cut less than 1 inch. I personally just am not going to do so. Don't really have a reason to, or have it as of right now. But I think it's a great jig. I think it's a great alternative. The only issue that I've seen with this at all is just the fact that it doesn't work well with smaller pieces. Now, hopefully you have a table saw and you don't have to really be cutting down pieces as small. I do, so I'm very lucky. So that's my overall thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed this. So if you guys have gotten value from this video, hit that like button or subscribe to see videos that we have coming up. Got some more tool reviews, got a fairly large project coming up. I'm building a bed for my granddaughter. Very unique. You guys will want to check it out. Or watch some of the videos floating around my head right now to see something that we've already done. Thank you and have a good day.